Hello and welcome to the next video of my World's 2023 preview series where we're going to cover Team Wales. This is their first international trip, a team that's relatively new in Vietnam. They're going to be the 2 seed. So there's a lot of interesting things to talk about this team, a lot of unknowns. I know J Beast may come into the comment section or participate in the Discord, either or. They're usually our VCS aficionado. If you are a Vietnamese fan, comment down below with scouting reports as well. But so the last 2 times Vietnam has sent a 2 seed to the event were 2022 and 2019. During COVID, Vietnam did not send teams. So we're going to go back to 2019, and even then, both results were that the Vietnamese squad did not get out of play-ins. So that is about where we're at with this 2 seed from the VCS. Their coach is Yuna. Yuna was the coach of GAM Esports. They're probably Gigabyte Marines or something of the sort at the time in 2019 Worlds, where they would go out in group stage. So this team, young, very young. We just talked about a couple teams that were over 23 and a half years old. This team is just not even 21 and a half. I had to double check, 21.4 years old. A lot of raw talent here, players that I have not seen play much. So let's go over it. First, Sparta in top lane. 21 years old. These numbers are not outstanding. Really, when you look at it, Team Wales in summer and playoffs went 29 and 22 overall. 2.8 KDA, 8 CS per minute, 53.5 KP, so very average. 389 gold per minute, that's 20.8% of the team's gold. 445 damage per minute, that's 21.5% of the team's damage. At 15 minutes, Sparta did not open up leads against other VCS tops. That's important. If he's not getting leads domestically, how is he expected to get leads internationally? Down 75 gold, 3 CS, 10 XP. It's not massive diff, but the fact of the matter is he's not dominating. 16 solo kills, 13 champions, 51 games, no international experience. There's only 2 players on here that have went to an event in the past. Actually, combined, they only have 31 games of international experience. So, in the jungle, we have Beanj, who actually has the most international experience out of anybody on the team and is the youngest player on the team at 20 years old. Beanj played with Saigon Buffalo last year in the jungle, now with Team Wales. These numbers very, very heavily facilitator oriented, and we're going to get into why in a minute. So 4.2 KDA, 4.6 CS per minute. Facilitator does not farm. 70.6 KP. 328 gold per minute, that's 17.5% of the team's gold. 290 damage per minute, that's 13.6% of the damage. At 15 minutes on average, he's down 15 gold, 6 CS, 210 XP, 4 solo kills, 11 champions, 51 games. I was not overly impressed with Beanj last year. But I do have to, I just did this with Carzy, I'm going to say it now. Growth is important. Has Beanj improved from last year to this year? Has he taken the next step? Actually, even then, I think he played with Saigon Buffalo in spring. But in general, has he taken the next step? This is our next time seeing him in a year. Internationally, he's 9 and 16. MSI 2022, they would get to Rumble stage, finish 6th. And then in World 22, out in play-ins, they would lose to Mad Lions in a best of 5. Internationally, those numbers are not strong, but it's a minor region player playing majority against, major region talent, those MSI games, right? So 4.6 KDA, 5.2 CS per minute, 64.7 KP, very low KP. 335 gold per minute, 305 damage per minute. You do have to say, though, he's kind of stood his ground, only down 185 gold. CS was even, 55 XP down, 6 solo kills in those 25 games. So was he getting gapped in the jungle over the entirety of the 25 games? No. And that's important. Because he's a facilitator. These numbers, even internationally, are facilitator oriented, but he's not a glaring weak spot per se. Now, the reason why his numbers are so low, it's because of Glory in mid lane. Glory is 21 years old, and despite never watching him internationally, if you're new to the channel, I do Hall of Fame stuff on the Discord and do some stats and statistical analysis for my videos in over the years, various reasons and content. And Glory has always stood out as a player that has great numbers that I never watched because I don't watch minor regions. I don't have time for that, to be quite honest with you. And that's why these are stat videos, and I don't have a lot of opinion to throw on to some of these players I have not watched. However, Glory has always been a player that statistically looks very strong, very resource heavy, and that makes sense. That is why Beanj's numbers are so low. So 4.6 KDA, 9.1 CS per minute, 67 KP. That 9.1 is huge. We're going over guys with 8.5, 8.6. No, this guy is a 9.1. And over an entirety of a game, that's a lot of gold. 425 gold per minute, that's 22.8% of the team's gold. 595 damage per minute, that's 28.2% of the team's damage. He is definitely the secondary carry. On average, up 130 gold, 7 CS, 145 XP. So when you take Beanj Glory, negative 6, 7, they're even with the opposition, right? So they're not giving up a lot in the mid jungle when you combine the two. 23 solo kills, so very aggressive. 14 champions, 51 games, no international experience. That is one of those players that I have not watched before, that at this event I'm going to want to watch. I want to see how he does. I want to see how he competes. Unfortunately for Team Wales, their first series is going to be against either Golden Guardians or BDS. So they're going to be checked right away, right? And we'll see if Glory can stand up to Gory or even Nuke. We'll see how that goes. In the bot role, we have Artemis, 22 years old. This past split did very well. 5.2 KDA, 10.2 CS per minute, 72.8 KP. Team fights around the bot lane. The bot laners stick together, both around 73% KP. The most active players on the team, actually. 483 gold per minute. That's 25.7% of the team's gold. Very resource heavy players. So we are looking at a situation where, once again, mid and bot lane truly what makes or breaks this team with the resources. 655 damage per minute, which is 30.8% of the team's damage. On average, though, still down at 15 minutes. So he does not open up leads laning 2v2. The leads are caused, if at all, by farming in the mid to late game, where Beanj just stops farming altogether. Sparta doesn't get that much food either in terms of gold, so fed doesn't get fed. And Artemis eats up, and so does Glory. So down 65, 3 CS, up 95 XP, 5 solo kills in 48 games played, 11 champions, no international experience either. Support role, I have BA listed. BA was injured for final CBL played. I'm hoping BA plays. If CBL plays, this team I'm not as excited about outside of that Glory deal I just talked about, because BA is arguably, alongside Levi, the best player in, or Kiea. He's in that, he's up there, right? One of the best, former MVP of Vietnam. He's very, very talented at 23 years old. World class. Does not look out of place at international events. 6.1 KDA, 72.6 KP. Vision score is great, 3.42 vision score per minute. That is because he plays a lot of wards, though. 9 to 10 wards every 5 minutes. A control ward every other minute, but does clear 2 wards every 5 minutes. 11 champions, 47 games. Internationally, he only played with GAM Sports last Worlds, going 1-5 and dropping out in group stage. He had a 2 KDA, 66.9 KP. Vision score per minute was not great, 2.41. Placed about 9 wards every 5 minutes, 2 control wards every 5 minutes, and only cleared 1 ward every 4 minutes. But we also have to keep in mind, I think he was alongside Style for that. And GAM, spoiler, GAM got rid of Style after MSI. So they... he was held back by Style, in my opinion. So I am interested to see how BA looks on the international stage alongside Artemis, who I assume simply by just not inting his face off will be better than Styles. So, there are things to like about this team. This is an interesting bunch. I won't, Glory, we'll see how he does. I'm not going to lie, I really would have preferred to see Saigon Buffalo. I think Shogun is one of the best minor region players outright. But we don't get to see Shogun this year. So that's it for the roundup. It's not the roundup. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.